Hello. So the four types of Greek love is philia, storge, agape, and eros. And philia is more friendship, um, people that you are in contact with enough to actually be a friend as opposed to an acquaintance, somebody that you care about, somebody that you might hear from, every few weeks or something like that. And stogie is more, much closer friends and family. Although some it can be very close friendship, but not necessarily um, always always around. In fact, the one Ophelia friendship I was going to speak about, my friend Matt, which we totally could be around each other a lot, but work and relationships and time and stuff doesn't really allow it. But it's like every 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes it's multiple week in a row. He has a tendency to stop by, and he may stop by at 6 p.m. or 12 o'clock, and I welcome him wholeheartedly. And he and I will just start talking about anything. We love to talk about philosophy. We like talking about mechanical ingenuity. We really love to talk about anything metaphysics. We speak about uh, physics itself. We really go all around. We speak about spiritual things and commonality and friendship, and he's very chill, and I would say he's about as chill as I am, and I'm quite chill, and I love him dearly, dearly, and I would still consider him ultimately as a close friend, more stoge, but because of our limited engagement, I think that we just are very very close friends, but we just kind of see each other on a friendship basis. And then Stogie is my sister Joanna. Um, she and I have 12 years difference, and she and I took over our family home about 20 years ago, and we moved in. I mean, we were both living here the day of her first birth of her child, and she's had relationships up and down, married, unmarried. Um, but what's nice is she has provided a nice balance to me. We have very similar characteristics. We're both Sagittarius, and whether it's esoteric or whatnot, it does have a lot of validity. People of different zodiacs, but it is interesting though because she is December and I am November. Yeah, yeah. I'm late November and she's early December. So we're very close, but it's interesting because she actually has so much similar, and there's a couple, two or three things that are complete opposite, and other people recognize that too. And it's kind of interesting. We get along fabulously, but um, when we're one on one, it's almost business like. But put us in a room of people, and we kind of have we kind of we kind of have pivot points, I guess, where I'm pivoting people and she's pivoting people, and it's actually created a really wonderful life here. And we're fortunate to have an acre and a half, and a good portion of that are 200-300-year-old oak trees, and we've got sassafras and well, actually Joanna knows all of these trees, mulberry trees and stuff, and we've got lots of land. You can probably hear the cicadas right now, and the family has grown wonderful, and uh, me only having been with men since I was 17. Yeah. uh, I have not found anything that was long lasting, and I've gotten actually to the point where um, I find that maybe in a relationship, you know, actually, it's kind of interesting. I'll just add on to that. Maybe it is more eros in nature, no matter how you look at it, and the softer nature of women um, is just necessary. And I've always thought that. I've always had my sister here, my cousin Renee, also, who I'm very, very close with. Um, she also lives here, and she left once, and she's primarily on my half of the house. We got like 9 bedrooms and 2 kitchens and 2 living rooms and stuff. But it's all a work of love. My grandfather built the first part as it's interesting because I've never met him, but I love him because I live in the house that he built, and it's amazing. It's a cinder block house. It's a simple farm ranch kind of thing. And then my father, when we were 5, 6 years old, he started building an addition that was 2 times the size of this. And so my whole childhood, I grew up doing all of that and learning all the wonderful things about creating and building and fulfilling your house dreams and stuff. It's got a lot of character here, and no matter how many people come here, and it is a hub. It is a hub. My sister's also a musician and artist, and I'm a musician, artist, writer, logician. Interesting enough, my reasoning skills I think are equal to my creative skills. Um, but there's been a lot of people that come here and they have troubles. They need time to stay somewhere, and we provided it over the years, over all these years, and it is amazing the people that come back. And I'm getting chills talking about that. There's so many people that come back and thank us, and it is most satisfying. A lot of these people don't have parents or have had so much difficulty they can't be with their parents, and anybody that's particularly in need, we don't you know we protect the place with care and love, and anybody that's uncomfortable with that usually just doesn't come back. We don't have to tell people not to come. It just and now there's so many people that started here as teenagers and now they're married and have kids. And gosh, it sounds like I'm talking about agape already. Or no, I guess that's more family and close friends. Yeah. Anyways, I'll continue on. Let's see, agape. So universal, which I'm going to say platonic. Being a philosophy major and stuff, I've read quite a bit, but I will have to say that I did focus a lot on the more romantic aspects of philosophy. So I was very, very strong on objectivism. Um, and I mean, of course, it attracted me because objectivism, you create the epistemology of reason, breaking it down to axioms, um, and things such as love, and just things such as creation in and of itself. Throughout my time of mostly being that, I was pretty atheistic. Um, but I was raised Jehovah Witness up until I was about 10. My sister Joanna was also. We're both no longer in the Jehovah Witness. In fact, neither of us are in any religion per se, but we do have belief. I should say, she has belief, and then I came to have belief also, really from all the stuff going on. My basic switch was if this kind of darkness that's taking over control, trying to take over control in such a all earth encompassing controlled, it's just mind boggling. There has to be, I mean, with this kind of evil, the stuff that's going on a lot of things I won't speak on particularly, but I mean, it's like once you see evil more clearly or more intent, or intensely, maybe then you, well, that's how I explained it. I was like, if that is that, there has to be an opposite, just like magnetism, just like electricity, everything. Everything is yin yang, one, two. I was actually, I was on a little trip a few years ago, and I saw this visage, and it was like of two milkmaids, and it was a black and white. Imagine like a 1940s cartoon, and so it's very quick movement in there, and the one would go down like this, and as they came up, they'd switch, go down, switch, 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 and it was just like, and all of a sudden I just heard this one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, and it just blew my mind because that's actually a whole sine wave is a one, two. Anything as like atoms have a one, two. They have to in order to have resistance, in order to have some. I don't even know. Who knows how to explain when it becomes from wave to actual physical existence? But that's how I saw that, and the that one two actually led to a song, and I started to understand the creator force, and I do follow the Christ consciousness is what I call it, because Christ consciousness is pretty much the red words. Um, if those are accurately put forward. But the way I see the red words, it doesn't matter if they're made up or not. They seem like a pretty good standard to follow. It's not telling you, the laws and how to do this and that. It's like I think the main point, the main judgment that is coming is, are you basically a good person no matter what's happened to you? How you are responding? Or are you basically a crappy person in response to things that happen to you? And that's kind of like the wheat being separated from the chaff in when it speaks about in Revelations. And again, I pretty much follow the red words. Um, Somebody's explanation about what Jesus meant in those words and stuff. I I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. But just to tidy that up, though, it's that Christian mentality of empathy, of of being able to put yourself in other people's shoes. I mean, because we all are just tentacles of the creator force. We're all just tentacles. Like the creator force is like an octopus of infinity arms. So it wouldn't be octopus, but you know what I mean. And so it's almost like we're puppets of that creation, and our puppet form is the DNA. And so the energy comes through and becomes the puppet, but it's still the creator force. So when you have a thought, when you do a thing, everything you do, you are the creator force is experiencing it with you at the same time. That's why there's no hiding, and there's no need of a come and we'll tally this up. It's like he's there, she's there. The creator force is there, period. And that's what I've learned also with all these people, all these wonderful, thankful, and they come to me, and there's a person that I needed a little bit of help, and he gave me $100. Somebody that lived here and actually got into music and became really proficient at it, and has a wonderful family now. He gave me $100 because I needed a little help, and I got unemployed a few months ago, and when I went to go pay him back, he laughed at me, and he says, "Are you kidding me?" He says, "Do you know what you have done for me so many years?" And and that's happened like 3 times now with different people, and that kind of thing touches you, and that's close family, and but the agape kind of is very close to that, because what I was just explaining, how everybody is technically you. It's like I'm engaging with this video to you, and you are me experiencing it, but just at a different time or a different place. So it's like I'm the creator engaging through this program of DNA to the creator in your program of the DNA, and that kind of reminds you of Namaste. I believe that is Namaste. I forgot the pronunciation of that. Namaste, I think. Yeah, the God in me, or the creator force in me, sees the God or creator force in you, and that's how I deal with everybody. I I'll be looking at somebody I've never seen before in the grocery store, and I will just engage with them. If I see them like kind of shuffle with something, like, oh, I'll be like, ah, they were trying to trick you on that, or something like that, and they turn and they smile, and and that spreads that, and it makes me feel good that they laughed, or something, or something. They might actually start talking to me more. It's like maybe they had a need to talk to somebody, and it's nice knowing that in your community, when you're in coming in contact with people, that you see them, you know because I mean that's what everybody wants, is to be seen, to seen. And and when it's the mirror thing. I've written a lot of songs with the mirrors and eyes because they are just so interrelated. But it's like when you have true empathy, you are seeing yourself not only from that person's perspective, but that person's perspective in reference to cues that they're giving of where they are coming from. You can pick up these kind of cues and give credence to it. You see something, oh, I use those boots too. Do you work, and that kind of thing, and I am interested. It's not even like a ploy. It's like, man, it's like watching a master craftsman build or something. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now we get to Eros. Obviously, sexual desire. Obviously, that is also going to be uh, what I think inspires the most irrational behaviors, of course. But Eros is the thing. As a philosopher, I'm pretty steady in a lot of things, but but Eros is the thing that is a befuddling thing. Um, I think it has, like it was, like you spoke about. I think it has both. Um, it has both practical purposes genetically through our program. It makes sense. Okay, so um, if it's like me. I have no children, and fortunately, I've been around to help, you know, raise my nieces and nephew, and it's an amazing experience that I would not have been able to have because I haven't had, I didn't get married and have kids. But although I might, there is, as I've gotten older, I've changed, just like you say, and the desire for family and for that family, that deep family love is more important. And it's going to be an interesting thing to try to figure out about Eros. It's not that I have, and it's not that would have trouble. I wouldn't, um, to do. You know what I mean? But she does enliven me. I mean, we've been so close friends. We go to music festivals and stuff a lot. That's where we met, and she's just her pheromones or something just definitely does something to me. It's automatic, and it's automatic for her. We speak about it. She's just not sure she's wanting to have kids, and that would be pretty much what I would want if I'm going to get into a relationship with a woman after not having been so since I was 17, 18. Um, I just would soon ride it out, like it's you know, I'm just not going to keep it going if that's the way it is. Actually, every day I'm just like, if this is what is necessary for me, and I usually speak to creator force. I don't try to give it a name because it talks about how the name is so important, and yet it has so many names, or the name is a title. I've actually believed that that it's the one two. His name, her name, his name, its name is the one two, the Abba, and I think that just kind of went into the YW whatever, and that's of course following the Hebrew. But I think no matter what, it's pretty much like a double syllable. It's just a simple honor to it. And so when I do speak, I just that's what I say. Abba, Abba, da da. Anyways, so why do I think Eros causes that? Well, I think just listing all of the stuff. My friend Matt, my Stoge family, close friends, my agape of my community, my neighbors, my countrymen, and of course everybody worldwide. But it does start here. You know, I actually think family represents why communism is good. When you grow up and get your own family, move into a house, now when you have a family in a house, socialism is good for your neighborhood, community, close community. And then free market is what you deal with when you're going outside of your zones. And I think that's why people can get caught up too much in one. When we have small community, you can have a communal existence. Actually, my brother he was at the commune where they sell organic seeds. They're actually very big. They sell a lot of them. And he was down there, and he was a free loving man. And there were some people there, though, that decided that they didn't like that he was loving on many of the women, and a couple of the women that were in control there kind of liked those women that he was, so they banned him. They threw him out. And it's like you can't have a huge group and expect everybody to feel that family kind of thing. You're gonna you don't have that much emotional energy or voltage, you know, amperage to reach out in that close way to many people, which is why you have to hold in. So Eros, of course, these things are just Eros. Eros. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. So Eros, yes, Eros is not. I should say philia does not cause violence. Stogie, no, Stoge, no, agape, Eros, and even there, it's touchy. But yes, of course, you could have a very close friend, and something happens, and they feel extremely affronted, and so they might do something violent because of you're taking that what they are perceiving as their need. Not that that would even happen particularly, but this could be an example of where that is. Or you know, when you have Stoge, uh, you can have family that have differences that like politics and stuff that can make people get violent. But these are much lessened, and I would say that Eros is more personal. It's not something that you do with very many people. I mean, once you have seen and engaged with somebody's body like that, and once yours has been given like that, there is no taking it back. It's the absolute most intense and personal and vulnerable position to be in any of these loves. That's what I feel. So, I hope this is not too long, and I know I'm late. I apologize. And I don't know why I went to take the quiz and it took me right here to do the essay. So, I'm I don't know if when I upload the essay the quiz is going to be there, but either way, thanks for listening. I know I can get talkative. I am a philosopher. Sorry. Thanks.